fun week. On vacation. First vacation of the summer. Nice. It was really nice. I went to Wildwood, New Jersey, and it was fun. I went up with a couple college friends, and for a couple days, Wednesday through Saturday morning, and we had a good time. Enjoyed ourselves at the beach. Had some nice pizza. It was a good time. And again, I'm glad to see these people, because some of these people are some of my best friends, and it's fun. I really enjoyed myself. But I'm glad to be back. And I enjoyed my Saturday night. Just hung out with my future roommate, so I'm really excited about that. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually going to move back to E-Town, so I'm excited. I'm excited to get that started. In the moving process, starting it later a couple weeks. But yeah, it's weird that, just before I get started on the sports show, of course, it's weird that I feel like you need a day break from your vacation to recover. I find that hysterical. I think it's one of those things where you're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a vacation, have a nice day. And by the last day, I was exhausted. I remember riding back to our friend's house, and I was just so out of it. I was just so tired. I'm like, I just need another day of recovery. And today's the day. Thank goodness that it's today, and then back to work tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited. Just a couple weeks left in the summer. It's closing down. It's unbelievable how fast it goes. But anyway, a lot to talk about in the world of sports. Let's get right to it. Starting with the Gold Cup final, U.S. Panama at Chicago. Unbelievable game for the most part. Breck Shea, the difference in the game, it took him less than a minute to score the game-winning goal as the U.S. defeats Panama 1-0 in the final. Shea scored 42 seconds after coming into the game as a substitute, and in the 69th minute gave the U.S. a 1-0 victory over Panama. It's the fifth Gold Cup for the U.S., and it's first since 2007. Where does this leave the state of U.S. soccer right now? I mean, look, they were really good overall. The emergence of Landon Donovan, I think, was important because, it provides a lot of depth for this national team now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Landon Donovan had 5 goals, 7 assists in this tournament. So, for the most part, that's huge. Considering the fact that Landon Donovan was a question mark coming into this tournament, whether or not he would be able to come in. And, this team's been very good so far, especially through the first half of World Cup qualifying. And, honestly, this is a boost. When you have a guy like Breck Shea, who, again, he's a pretty good bench player. I don't think he's a starter yet, but he provides a lot of energy off the bench and scores goals when they need to. If you remember a couple of years ago, he scored the game-winning goal at the Azteca for the U.S.'s first victory there in 70 years, which is huge. That's huge. And for Breck Shea to come in again, and it took him less than a minute, 42 seconds, folks, to score the game-winning goal in the Gold Cup final against Panama. Now look, Panama isn't Germany or an Argentina or Brazil, but Panama is a pretty good team. They defeated Mexico in the semifinals, and Mexico, they've had their problems of their own, but they've been pretty good in this tournament overall. So, with this victory, the Americans are now with a winning streak of 11 games, 4 more than their previous best. Now, again, I'm not saying that this competition is, full of teams that are ranked in the 200s. I'm not saying that. But I wouldn't measure the success of this U.S. team. And I'd pick up the little pieces. Again, Landon Donovan, huge. Nick Raimondo was outstanding in goal today, and where normally a position that's been held by Tim Howard the last couple years. Now, and Coach Jurgen Klinsmann was suspended, but let's be honest. It's soccer. Being a former soccer player myself, soccer's not a sport where I would say that the coaches plays a huge role. He's a strategy, but a lot of what he does comes from the assistant coaches, and I'm sure they observe enough to get a feel of the players and how Klinsmann runs this team. So I wouldn't think it would have made that much of a difference if Klinsmann was there. But hey, The U.S. got it done, and that's all that matters. The only bad part about this win is another injury to Stuart Holden's right knee. He collapsed to the ground after colliding with another player in the first half and grabbed his right knee. And he's missed almost 2.5 years because of injuries to that knee, only returning to the squad a couple months ago. But other than that, I think overall this U.S. national team's looking pretty good. Eddie Johnson, the emergence of him, I think a lot of players did not know him, or a lot of fans did not know him coming into this tournament, and he made a name for himself. So I think overall this is going to be a good team moving forward. Their next match is August 14th against Bosnia-Herzegovina, who's actually a pretty good team right now. I mean, a lot of people don't know in the soccer world about this team, but this team is on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup for the first time. This is a pretty good measuring stick. Then after that, on September 6th, they have a game away at Costa Rica. And then the next 3 games, September 10th, October 11th, and October 15th. Two of their next... they play against Mexico at the Columbus Crew Stadium. They play at home against Jamaica, and then away at Panama to wrap up the qualifying. The U.S. right now has 13 points, which isn't that bad. They're in first. They're two up on Costa Rica. I think if they win 2 of the 4 games, I think they'll be in. I mean, honestly, this team knows how to run the table in the CONCACAF. But what will define this team is what they do next year in Brazil, obviously. I mean, this team has qualified for the last several World Cups. We know they can do it. That's not a problem. What they can do in the World Cup and the group that they get is huge. So they have to finish first to get a pretty reasonable group moving forward. So again, congratulations to the United States on winning their 5th Gold Cup, first since 2007. Now moving on, I learned about this while I was on vacation, and I was shocked. Now I get it. Before I get started, I understand that there are people in the world that are starving, and I understand the people complaining about this, and I understand why people would complain about it. But look, it's Real Madrid. They're a team that's always had money. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world, arguably. And this weekend, Real Madrid decided to place a $100 million bid on Gareth Bale, the striker from Tottenham. I mean, this guy's had a phenomenal season. And so far, according to reports from ESPN, that Tottenham Hotspur has yet to respond to the bid. Now, honestly, looking from the perspective of Real Madrid, I get it. Gonzalo Higuain has left. He went to Napoli. And Cristiano Ronaldo needs another player, a dynamic player that's able to score goals, and I don't think Higuain was that guy. Now, granted, Real Madrid's loaded. They do have a good roster. But in order to compete with Barcelona in the La Liga and in the Champions League moving forward, they're going to need a striker that's going to be able to come in and score when it matters. And if you saw from last season in the EPL, Gareth Bale was unbelievable. He scored goals from free kicks when it mattered. He scored, again, a lot of the games that Tottenham won were 1-goal games. And the difference was Gareth Bale. Now, if he can do that to Real Madrid, and granted, Real Madrid had a lot of injuries last year. Casillas and a lot of the midfield, they were pretty injured. But if they can stay healthy and they can bring in Gareth Bale, yeah, this team is going to be something scary. So we'll see. I mean, look, again, I understand the concept that 100 mil may be too much. But in soccer, it's different than any other sport. There is no salary cap. You can do whatever you want as long as you have the money. You're pretty much free to do whatever you want, and sometimes that's exciting. But you can also understand why there are so many teams that are bankrupt, and a team that like Tottenham Hotspur, why they wouldn't take the $100 million to buy a couple of other world-class players. I'm not saying Gareth Bale isn't worth the money, but think about it. $100 million for one player, you could probably purchase several mid-level players. And again, again, Tottenham has underachieved the last couple years, and for a team that wants to put themselves in the Champions League for years to come, this would be a good deal. And for Real Madrid, obviously, they're getting one of the world's hottest strikers. So again, he's been clutch when it matters, especially in the last year. Just saying. We'll see what happens with that. Moving on to baseball, some of the scores from earlier today. This one just went final. The Dodgers, off a Yasiel Puig home run in the bottom of the 11th, get the win over the Reds 1-0. Great pitching duel. Jeter, we'll talk about him in a minute, with the Yankees over the Rays 6-5, and we'll tell you who else. One of the new Yankees, who actually had played with the Yankees before, how much he contributed to the win. Other scores coming in right now: the Athletics defeat the Angels 10-6. Marlins defeat the Pirates 3-2. Indians blank the Rangers 6-0. The Washington Nationals, wow, they slammed the Mets 14-1. Yeah. Blue Jays defeat the Astros 2-1. Cubs get by the Giants 2-1. Giants are in huge trouble. They cannot get their bats going. Tigers 12-4 victory. Porcello getting his 8th win of the year. Rockies 6-5 over the Brewers. They're still in it. Red Sox blank the O's 5-0. David Ortiz, Big Papi, goes 4-for-4 in the game. Really good for the Red Sox. Padres 1-0 over the Diamondbacks. Royals 4-2 over the White Sox in 12 innings. And the Mariners 6-4 over the Twins. Now going back to the Yankees game, Derek Jeter, arguably one of the best Yankees to ever put on the pinstripes, and one of the best players of all time. Top 10 in hits, and a phenomenal athlete, and even better person. This guy, coming back for the second time this season, he was injured, obviously with a broken ankle from last season's playoffs, and then tried again, and went down. Coming back, first pitch, bombs it to right field. And honestly, the Yankees need this spark plug. With everything that's going with Alex Rodriguez right now, we don't even know if he's going to be back. And honestly, I do believe, among the many people, that the Yankees are helping out Major League Baseball with Alex Rodriguez so he never plays again. And so I don't think he's going to come back. But with Derek Jeter, the captain, the man, he will be the spark plug for this Yankees team moving forward if they're going to have any chance of getting to the postseason. And one of the bigger pickups of the trade before the trade deadline was Rafael Soriano coming back to the Yankees. Soriano played from 97 to 03. He was a team that the Yankees, his first team when he came into the major leagues. And again, he was fantastic today. Playing a huge role in that 6-5 win. He's 37. And he was good. 4 for 5 in the game. Home run and the game-winning hit that sent Brett Gardner, that drove Brett Gardner in. And that's the ball game. I mean, this guy, again, he's going to be huge. Moving forward, I think they need an infield. I think what the Yankees do need is they need someone in the infield. I don't know if they're going to get it. We have a couple days left before the trade deadline. But, I mean, if this is what the Yankees are able to produce offensively, I think they have a shot. As we go to the standings right now, in the American League, starting with